Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. This video is super important because, as you know, Bitcoin has been very subtle. It's been very stable for the past couple of days, even weeks, and to me, honestly, it feels like years. And in crypto, when stuff doesn't happen for this amount of time, it gets really boring. So I know it's been like that for the past couple of days, but guys, get ready because a very big move is about to come and you need to prepare for that, right? Something very similar is repeating in terms of history, and if we follow it exactly the same way, then it looks pretty interesting for Bitcoin. I'm going to talk about very deep technical analysis, my personal targets for Bitcoin, alongside potential trading setups. So for all of that, stay tuned until the end of today's video. But guys, I wouldn't be lying if I told you that I waited for exactly this view to record this video, because honestly, this is probably one of my favorite spots in the world, period, in terms of a view, because you have the beautiful sea view, and usually there are a lot of very nice yachts that come around, and you know, when you just look out from here, it's very inspirational. So it's a super nice place. It's the Mandarin in Bodrum. But anyways, that's enough talk. Let's jump into the video straight away. So this is the daily time frame for Bitcoin, and as you can see, there is already a very clear pattern forming, and it's the falling wedge pattern. Now, if you watch my previous technical analysis update, I talked about this pattern in particular and this comparison very briefly. However, this video is going to be much more in detail, and again, preparing us for a potential trading setup. So watch until the end for that. But before I go on any longer, if you guys want to trade Bitcoin or most high market cap altcoins, I like to trade on these two exchanges in particular, because in terms of a derivatives exchange, you really need to, well, not financial advice, but I like to diversify my risk by at least trading on more than one platform, because even Binance halts withdrawals, and that you don't want to risk your money on just in case anything like that happens. So I personally like to diversify the amount of exchanges I use. So I'm using Bitflex and Bybit. If you guys want to try out any of them, it would be very much appreciated if you do so using the link in the description below. If you use the Bitflex link, you'll actually be able to get an opportunity to participate in future giveaways, which are really going to be pretty big. It's going to happen very soon, and it's going to be a lot bigger than the Apple Watch giveaway that we did a few weeks ago, so stay tuned for that. But let's jump back into Bitcoin and discuss this falling wedge pattern. Now, Bitcoin, it's been very stable. We had this small little pump and dump right over here, and this was because of the MicroStrategy news. So MicroStrategy said that it's planning on, offloading more stock to purchase more Bitcoin. So that's why we had a small pump and dump over there. But this fundamental news did get us a very nice resistance line for this falling wedge pattern. However, the thing that is super critical is that we are right now below these EMA ribbons on the daily time frame, and we need to make it above them, because if I compare it to the previous falling wedge pattern, Bitcoin actually smashed the $31,000 level after we broke out from this massive falling wedge that also took a very long amount of time to break. We started this at around like 14th of April, and then we broke out finally in June this year. So this was another massive descending, it was a descending wedge, and we did break out with big volume. And although this falling wedge in particular that is forming right now isn't as big as the previous one, it should definitely, if we break towards the upside, I'm predicting a move towards the $31,000. But again, wait until the end, because there are some bearish factors that I want to discuss. Now, over here, we saw that the EMA ribbons crossed towards the upside once we were breaking the resistance line of this previous falling wedge pattern. Now, that was important because them crossing towards the upside, right, it's a very bullish sign. The EMA ribbons are a very simple tool to use. I can go in much more in depth with it, but honestly, if you are a beginner trader, intermediate trader, or even advanced, these EMA ribbons are very cool to use. And in simple terms, if they cross towards the upside, that's pretty good for the long macro trend. If they cross down, then that's pretty bad on the macro trend as well. Shorter time frames, it doesn't matter that much. It's not that relevant. But if you use the EMA ribbons on more bigger time frames, like the weekly time frame, then it's going to be very much effective. Now, again, as I said, we're below the EMA ribbons on the daily, and the EMA ribbons have began to cross towards the downside, which is not nice. For this to be reversed, we need to see a pump back up to the 29.6K like in the next couple of days. Otherwise, this EMA ribbons, they're going to cross towards the downside, which is not nice whatsoever. However, on the weekly time frame, right, if we look at it at a more macro perspective, we are in this ascending wedge pattern, not wedge, ascending triangle pattern, because we are still in an uptrend, thankfully. And as you can see, we have our higher highs and our higher lows marked by the arrows. And over here, you can see that one arrow is green because that is my prediction for the next higher low. If we break down from this crucial support of $28,800, then I do believe 27.5, 27.7, that range is most definitely possible. But that, as a trading setup, I will get into very shortly. So again, watch until the end of the video for that trading setup. Now, if you guys are confused about this red range, I'm going to quickly switch over to the weekly time frame, because as you can see on the weekly time frame, this red range is incredibly important, especially this, I believe this is the 28,800 level, the bottom of this range. We have multiple wicks that retested this level of support back in 18th of January. We also saw it on the 21st of June. So it is very important. Again, we saw it also in May. So it is a very important line of support that Bitcoin is holding. And if we do break it towards the downside, it's not going to be good whatsoever, ladies and gentlemen. And also on the weekly time frame, the EMA ribbons do come to this point. Also, the 27.2, 27.345, that particular range is where the EMA ribbons are mostly at. So if we do break below this $28,800, $900 level, I would not be surprised if we saw that move towards the downside back to that. The critical thing is that we do not break below here, right? If we break below there, then it is game over, ladies and gentlemen. But again, there is still some hopium on Bitcoin, especially the daily time frame, because as I said, falling wedges do usually in technical analysis break towards the upside. However, very much so, it can go the other way too. If you ask for my personal stance, I'll be honest with you, right? I am bearish. That's the bullish target, 31K. But at the moment, I think we need a miracle to get back to that level. Is it possible? Yes, but my stance is more so bearish. So at the moment, I'm looking at a trade. If we break below this 28,800 with a confirmation on the daily candle, I am planning on opening a trade down towards the 27,700 as my first take profit zone. So that is what I'm looking at. And at this 27.700, I will most definitely be longing, because this is an incredible, important level of support. If I don't long, then at least I will be buying spots. So in fact, after this video, I will put some spot order positions at this 27,700, because it is a very nice place to be DCing into Bitcoin, this $27,700, if you're planning on buying spot, because again, tremendous level of support. So that is the bearish trade that I'm looking to take. However, if Bitcoin does manage to get above these EMAs in the next couple of days, then, ladies and gentlemen, with a confirmation on the daily candle, if we break above this resistance, then I will FOMO into this long position and take profit at $31,000. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that should be around a 4% trade. So let's have a look right over there. That's going to be a 5% trade. So that is not so bad at all. And let's just quickly look what percentage is the trade towards the downside. So that's going to give us, if we open it right there, that's going to give us around like a 3.4, 3.6% trade, depending on where you decide to take your profit. So that is not so bad at all. The final thing that I want to look at is the S&P 500, because the S&P, guys, I've not looked at the S&P for a very, very long time. I've not looked at it. And this is all of my previous, now this is not the correct one. I think it was on SPX. So let's go to SPX. So this is my previous analysis that I only changed the colors of this resistance line. Well, this is now support. And this was my previous analysis. If you go back to my very, very old videos, we actually predicted this S&P pump very nicely. I mean, I've not looked at the S&P 500 in ages, and I didn't realize the markets were rallying this much in the traditional stocks. But what's super concerning is even though stocks are rallying, Bitcoin is not going up. And that's concerning because it means that traditional investors are shying away from Bitcoin at the moment, which is something not good at all. And maybe they're waiting for the halving. And hopefully by the time of the halving, if we don't see a massive run towards the upside, then I would be losing hope on Bitcoin, but hopefully we will see that run up towards the upside. But guys, that is pretty much it for technical analysis. Before I end off the video, I highly recommend that you guys check out this What is Bitcoin Explained by a Kid video. I will link it in the description below. Because I'll be honest with you, it is probably the best video that I've produced so far on this channel. And unfortunately, the good content never gets watched, so this is actually my least ranked content on YouTube on like 10 out of 10, but that's okay because this video is really good and it's not at the moment getting the views it deserves. So I would highly recommend checking this out, because even if you are in crypto for a long time, we sometimes lose touch of what Bitcoin is all about, and this video is around 15 minutes long, so just plug it in your ear, listen to it when you can. It's a really nice, simple, and very interesting explanation of what Bitcoin is. And this final part, this Nikola Tesla part, I don't think you've heard anywhere else. And even Da Vinci, the guy that bought Bitcoin at $1, posted about this video. So I would definitely recommend going ahead and checking it out. But guys, that's where I'm going to end off this video. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and guys, take care, enjoy your summer, and I will see you all hopefully very shortly on the channel. So everyone, take care and bye-bye.